Learn how to get your first 1,000 YouTube subscribers. Join our Patreon page now. Link in the description.
And we are live. Oh my God, so exciting tonight for the Puppet Podcast. We are for our 55 episode, 3 countries. Like we have someone from Bogota, but Mexico will translate, and Canada. So we are in 3 time zones, 3 languages, if I'm including that I could speak and translate it in French, but be comfortable. We will be just Spanish and English tonight. And it's kind of really happening with this podcast, how it grows. And it's kind of like I was saying this afternoon, it's kind of a baby, this podcast, and we make it grow, and now we walk, and now it's bigger and bigger. So everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here tonight. Be free to just write down on the chat where you're watching this, because it's always so amazing to see that it's international and we have people from all over watching this podcast, a talk show about puppetry. Woohoo! That's kind of a good purpose that we have, and it's about promoting the art and talking about what we love, like puppetry. So before we go into the interview, I just want to plug our Patreon and our workshop that we do. It's next weekend on July 5, and I would just bring into the screen this wonderful template of the website. It's how to make a children web series with a tight budget. Like it's kind of, it will be amazing. I just talked with Danny Joe this afternoon, and we will have cardboard and just create. It's really a hands-on workshop. So let's have a look on the Patreon and be like really welcome by me and my boyfriend and everyone. We really want a lot of people there to just like exchange about this and maybe create a get-together happening like tonight on this Patreon, and about web series and how we will conquer the web and give value to the work of puppetry. So that was the commercial. But I put already an address on the chat because it's about Bogota, and the Puppeteers of Bogota do a fundraising to help the community over there. So be free to look, click, donate, and it will encourage all of this community over there that I discover. And it's kind of a treasure. You find many great puppeteers and people and human beings who have a lot of care about what they do. So everyone, just be free to chat again and ask questions during the interview, and write down where you're from. I'm always excited about seeing you have people from Bangladesh and India watching the show, or wherever you are in the world. It's amazing. So let's bring the translator in the screen. If you are Spanish and you try to understand, let's bring her in the screen. Ailin, mesdames et messieurs. So yay! I don't hear you, Ailin. I think you...
Oh. There you go.
Yeah,
Hola, ¿qué tal?
The guest of the 25. So 20 episodes later, she come to translate as my co-host.
Thank you for the invitation to be a co-host in Puppet Podcast. It's going to be an amazing journey to share with all of your audience this new way of sharing this across nations. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So stay tuned.
Yay! So people from Bogota are right there. They write on the chat, Bogota. So let's bring our guests into the screen, and we will speak Spanish. Hablas español un poquito. Yo el pregunto, pero el español para mí es muy difícil. Pero
no te preocupes, yo te voy a ayudar aquí a traducir toda nuestra audiencia hispanohablante. Entonces quédense por favor, porque ya casi es showtime con Puppet Podcast.
Showtime. So let's bring Sergio. Ta-da-dam. So yeah.
What an entrance.
Un abrazo, Caroline, Ailin. Un saludo para todos y todas las personas que nos están viendo.
Yes, that's so nice to see you, Sergio. Yeah, I want you to present yourself for the community, like your where you're from, your work with puppetry.
Sergio, ¿podrías presentarte y decirnos de dónde viene tu arte de los títeres, un poquito de tu semblanza para toda nuestra audiencia, por favor?
Bueno, soy Sergio Murillo, antropólogo, titiritero, clown. Este arte de los títeres viene de mucho tiempo atrás. Tengo una compañía de títeres que se llama el Baul de la Fantasia. Dejo ahí para que traduzcas.
Gracias. Okay, so he's Sergio Murillo. He's an anthropologist. He's a puppeteer. He is clown. He has done different language of puppetry, and he is director of a company named Baul de las Fantasías in Bogotá. And continue, Sergio, continúa.
Esta compañía la conformamos mi madre y yo, y tenemos artistas invitados. Ya cumplimos este año 15 años de trayectoria.
So this company is confirmed by my mom and some other artists that we are invited in for the company for different projects. And this year we are having our 15th anniversary.
Oh, great. That's amazing. So
Excelente.
Yes. Yeah, it's kind of good to have your mother also involved. You were born in a theater, I think.
Es muy entretenido y muy suave encontrar y escucharte decir que tu mamá forma parte de la compañía. Entonces, ¿quiere decir que naciste con una herencia teatral o naciste en un teatro? ¿Cómo es esto de que tu mamá está incluida también en esta compañía?
Pues mi mamá, que es Magdalena Rodríguez, es una de las artistas con más trayectoria en teatro de títeres aquí en Colombia. Y tuve la fortuna de nacer en Tunja, en un teatro en el que ella dirigía.
Okay. His mom, Magdalena Rodríguez, she's one of the most experienced puppeteers in Colombia, right? And with a lot of experience, 12 years experience. And he was born in Tunja, Bogotá, Tunja, Colombia. And he was born in a small theater there in Tunja.
Wow, amazing. That's cool. I want to go with my first question. So let's try my Spanish, okay?
Vamos, primera pregunta. Lo voy a intentar en español. Vamos a ver.
¿Por qué valoras el arte de los títeres?
Bueno,
in English, it's why do you cherish the art of puppetry?
How do you share the art of puppetry?
Hay como distintos niveles de valor que tengo. Uno, primero, un valor emocional bastante fuerte por haber nacido en un teatro de títeres.
It's a very emotional value since I was born in a puppet theater, family, right? It's tradition.
Otra segunda razón que me parece muy importante es por la potencia simbólica, sígnica en la escena, la capacidad de juego que se da.
The second, it is the power itself with the significance of puppetry in theater itself, like in the language. La second reason.
La capacidad de juego y de resignificación, la capacidad de crear mundos imposibles, creo que tiene un valor muy importante para la sociedad.
The capacity of creating these unimaginable worlds and unimaginable scenarios, it is something that gives significance to different ways of speaking the language of puppetry. So that's one of our reasons too.
I love this. Me gustó mucho.
Yeah.
Muy bien.
The second question, okay?
Segunda pregunta, vamos.
¿Cómo fue tu enamoramiento por los títeres?
Bueno, muy bien. Ahora en inglés.
In English, it's how did your crush for puppetry happen?
Your crush.
Ese enamoramiento se dio en mi infancia, cuando
This
nací
crush
en Estados
happened.
Unidos.
This crush happened when I was a little kid, since I was born in a theater, so it's naturally.
Creo que yo era un títere más de la compañía.
I think I was another puppet from the company, actually.
Cuando cumplí más o menos 20 años, estaba estudiando antropología y estaba estudiando todo el tema en relación con la mitología indígena de Colombia y me preguntaba bastante cómo se transmitía la cultura, cómo un niño podía leer los signos de una cultura. Y desde ahí comencé a ver el
When I was
potencial
20,
de los títeres.
sorry. Okay, when I was about 20 years old, I was studying anthropology, and when my studies, I was thinking and asking myself, how does this methodology and indigenous methodology could be transmitted to children, right? So I started this journey to imagine how to create this world in order to transmit this to children.
Yeah.
Y ahí fue un segundo enamoramiento y fue el más profundo porque desde ahí ya quedé anclado a la compañía y a hacer títeres.
That was the second crush I had on puppetry, and that was a definitely crush, because then since I was working for the company and doing and seeing and being part of it, I mean, that was the second crush. It was definitely the thing that I want to do.
Great, that's great. It's crush and corazón, el corazón.
Yeah, corazón de.
Thank you. I go for the tres, pregunta tres.
Bien.
Okay. En su opinión, ¿cuál será el mejor campo de estudio para convertirse en titiritero?
¡Eso!
Yay! We were practicing, actually. We were practicing this question in Spanish too. So in English, what would be the field of probably field for professional puppetry?
Pues ahorita estamos trabajando, yo ahorita estoy estudiando una maestría en estudios avanzados en teatro. Mi trabajo final de máster está justamente enfocado en crear un programa académico, una maestría en teatro de títeres. Si quieres resumir eso.
Yes, of course. So Sergio right now he's doing some master's degree on extended theater studies, and his final assignment, his final thesis, will be about creating this academy of professional puppetry in his country. So that's what he's doing at the end of his master's degree.
Wow.
Y dentro de la investigación que estoy haciendo, creo que es muy importante tanto la dramaturgia, como la dirección, como la interpretación, como el diseño plástico, y también lo último, con todo este contexto de confinamiento, creo que también es muy importante comenzar a reflexionar y a crear una formación en teatro de títeres para medios audiovisuales.
Okay, so he in this research of creating this academy and this his final work for his master's degree, he feels like it is important to include writing for puppet theater, construction for sure, design, that's important too, and also now with this virtuality, it's important to include this virtual audio visual performance like classes for them to insert virtual activities in puppetry. So he feels like these fields are the ones important about his research so far.
Wow. I'm happy to hear that it's an opening towards also the audio visual, like that, the TV, the fact that we have a camera right there also, it's really futuristic to see that it's part of the job too.
Es muy futurista pensar así como pensar en la parte audiovisual, porque es como lo que sigue, ¿no? Es lo que estamos ahorita. Por ejemplo, estamos en vivo, estamos en cámara, estamos usando audiovisual y creo que pues, es un lenguaje nuevo y que qué bueno y qué padre y qué interesante que lo estén incluyendo y lo estés incluyendo en este trabajo como para hacer esta academia, esta profesionalización del arte de los títeres.
Gracias.
Yes. So, question 4. ¿Cuál es su propia definición de títeres?
Your own definition of puppet.
Wow.
It's a hard one. It's tough. Muy difícil.
Muy difícil. La siguiente. No, mentira.
Next one. Difficult. Too difficult. Next one. No, just kidding.
Creo que es la capacidad de jugar con objetos, pueden ser intervenidos o no. Y
The
creo
capacity. Okay, continue.
No,
Okay,
no,
the capacity of creating these, creating new objects. It could be inverted or not, right?
es la capacidad de dotar vida a lo inerte
Okay, to give life to something that is inanimated.
y creo que otra parte muy importante del títere es su capacidad metafórica, donde el títere no solamente es el objeto, sino que el títere se construye en la cabeza cuando el espectador lo está mirando y lo completa en su imaginación.
And the metaphor of puppetry itself, like how the audience will see an object and will create their own metaphor into what's the object and what is the significance of the object in the scene. So that would be his definition of puppetry. Well, puppet.
I like that. That's really good too. Like the spectator vision and how he defined what he sees. It's really part of it. I agree.
Sí, yo también dice que está de acuerdo, o sea, esa manera en como la metáfora de la audiencia, o sea, no es lo mismo ser como el objeto, bueno, esto ya es personal, ¿no? Como el objeto, presentarlo, pero es diferente cuando la audiencia lo ve, lo hace suyo, hace su propio significado a través de un solo objeto. Entonces, dice que le parece extraordinario también eso y concuerda contigo.
Genial.
Yo también. Me too.
Yes. ¿Cree que el arte de Titeres está en ascensión?
Do you think that art of puppetry is in ascension or it's in critical?
Yeah.
Going critical.
Popular.
Total, en ascenso. Creo que cada vez hay nuevas generaciones de titiriteros, de gente que está explorando desde otras artes el poder del objeto. Llegan desde el teatro, llegan desde las artes plásticas, llegan desde la pedagogía y creo que hay un resurgir del teatro de títeres.
There's an ascension, there's like this new era, there comes new puppeteerians, there's new generations of puppeteerians coming along. And the way they create new ways with new languages through pedagogy, goes with theater itself and different brands of scenic arts. So it's an ascending for sure, for Sergio, it's ascending.
Great. It's positive message. I love it.
Muy positivo mensaje, sí.
Muy positivo, está totalmente bien.
Muy bien, Caroline.
Sí. Ok. ¿Cuál es tu mejor propósito como titiritero?
What's your purpose as a puppeteerian?
Yeah, the big one, the grande propósito.
There you go.
Wow. Pues mi gran propósito es crear un momento ritual de copresencia, de juego y de crear una unidad con el público. Para mí ese es el gran propósito, generar un momento ritual y de juego.
his purpose is to create this moment of ritual and playful moment for the audience in order to convert in the same place.
Yeah, yeah. And when is it?
¿Cuándo? ¿Cuándo lo vas a hacer? ¿Cuándo va a pasar? Dice.
Ojalá sea pronto, pero sí, mi gran motivación es siempre estar jugando, como ir tejiendo con el público. No solamente es una cosa de dar, sino también de recibir. Es como un juego de dar, recibir. Es como un gran tejido, como un gran vínculo que estoy haciendo.
So pretty soon. He hopes to be pretty soon though, but he loves to go with this ping pong with the audience, right? To create this atmosphere with the audience, right? So it's like a ping pong, but he's sure like hopefully soon we'll get there.
Yeah. Now we have kind of a weird circumstance with the public, but Chris Russell, it will happen.
Yeah, esperemos que pronto suceda.
¿Dónde ves el arte de los títeres en 10 años?
How do you see the art of puppetry in 10 years from now?
Bueno, creo que tomando una posición en el arte en general muy importante, rompiendo fronteras también de las artes, con un lugar también muy importante en la academia, teniendo festivales mucho más robustos, con mayores presupuestos, que podamos ver la diversidad de posibilidades que tiene el arte de los títeres.
So it seems like in 10 more years to have a special place, like a good place in the puppet theater, in the branch of theater itself, to have better festivals with a lot of different, scenic arts around. Also about professionalization too, right? Y no sé si me escapa algo, Sergio.
No, creo que lo dijiste todo.
Sí, ¿verdad? Sí.
Sí, que tenemos muchas posibilidades creadoras alrededor de los títeres.
So and also in 10 more years to have these unimaginable possibilities in puppet theater, right? And to go across frontiers and borders. That's how Sergio says in 10 more years from now.
Great, that's so cool. Yeah, I love positivity. I really enjoy that. I love it.
Mucho positivismo, le encanta, nos encanta. A mí también.
Yes. And okay, I have another one. ¿Sientes que los títeres han alcanzado su máximo potencial? ¿O sientes que todavía de mejora?
So you think that puppetry it's in its full potential, or it's still going up their potential?
Yo creo que el teatro de títeres en cada momento va alcanzando su máximo potencial en relación con la historia y el contexto.
Okay, it reaches in history, in different stages of history, it reaches there's top point, that's for sure. But that's for different stages of history. It reaches on the top point. Sergio.
Y creo que todavía tenemos mucho que dar y también adaptarnos a estos nuevos contextos para alcanzar nuevas potencialidades.
So, but this is like something that is emerging and will still continue evolving. So therefore, it's going to be evolving more and more and more. That's for sure.
Great. Yes.
So to get its big potential, that's important, to get this big potential.
Yes, we're going there. We are on the way.
Vamos para allá.
Yes. And para concluir, do you have a puppet or a friend in Titeres pequeño you want to bring to the screen?
¿Tendrás un títere para terminar? ¿Un títere que nos quieras mostrar a la audiencia de Puppet Podcast? ¿Algún títere queremos ver? It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, sorry.
No tengo.
No, he doesn't have any.
Oh. I think we will give you, Sergio, the full screen to do if you want to do something with it. So we go
Definitely.
out, okay?
Yeah.
Hola, buenas noches. ¿Cómo van? Aquí el león del circo de las maravillas los saluda. Un abrazo para todos los que nos están viendo. Espero volver pronto a la escena.
Amazing. Ta-da! The Leo is in the middle.
¡Oh, qué rico!
Gilly, 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 gilly.
We're petting you.
Yay! Amazing, Sergio. I love this Leo. Yeah. Yeah. So that's so great. Thank you very much. I'm watching if you have any question. We have Marina who say buenas noches. I will bring the address, as I said, for the fundraising for Bogota Puppeteer. It's kind of a lot of number, but you just have to click. It's at the top of the podcast. So you could.
Acá está el link para la recaudación de fondos que está haciendo TiteRED Bogotá. Solo tiene que dar clic acá para apoyar a nuestros compañeros, colegas y compañeras de TiteRED Bogotá. De este lado, den clic. Recaudación de fondos, fundraising.
Yeah, so donate if you have the chance, if you can. And thank you very much. It was a pleasure to do this international 3-country, 3-time zone, 3 languages puppet podcast.
Muchas gracias, muchísimas gracias. Fue muy interesante estar en este intercambio con 3 lenguas, 3 continentes, 3 zonas horarias, ¿no? Y sobre todo converger juntos, ¿no? En este espacio de Puppet Podcast, ¿no?
Yes. So you both stay there. I will just say the last words, and we can chat after on the platform. Just stay there. So yeah. See you, Ailin. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching this. I will just bring into the screen again the Patreon. Be tuned for this wonderful workshop about children web series, and we will have a lot of fun over there. I say have a buenas noches, buenos dias if you are in the other part of the world, and everyone Venezuela was watching. Thank you very much, and stay tuned for any tips and help for promotion online with the Puppet Podcast. Good night, everyone. Buenas noches.
Learn how to get your first 1,000 YouTube subscribers. Join our Patreon page now. Link in the description.